Hi, welcome back. So in this session, we are going to discuss about init containers in Kubernetes. In previous sessions, we have discussed on what is Kubernetes and why we need Kubernetes and Kubernetes installation. And in Kubernetes, each and every service we are seeing as a hands-on, right? How to create a namespace, how to create a pod, how to create a single pod with two containers with the same port, and how to create a expose to the service as a load balancer, as a node port, as a ingress, and we are also started seeing the deployments, right? So in this session, we are going to discuss about the init containers. Okay, as I stated a couple of times, we have created our GitHub ID called Cloud and Loud. And in this Kubernetes training, please stick with Kubernetes_admin_training. And there is a folder called class 11 init containers. So I have created a small scripts, okay, to make sure you have a better understanding when you do on your own lab, right? So let's go inside. So let us open the text file and open this folder. In this folder, there is a two YAML file. One is node.yaml file and redis.yaml file. Okay, and also in hub.docker.com, we have stated that there is a repository called Cloud and Loud. For this class, there is a two images, node-redis image. If you want, you can download and customize it for your easy purpose. And also there is another image, Cloud and Loud /test, right? So I'll explain what is the purpose of these images, right? So first we will go with the commands. Okay, so now what is init container, right? Say for example, I have a web server, right? I have a app server, right? I have a database server, DB. Suppose DB database admin found there is a critical issue, so he want to take out this as a maintenance, right? So he want to apply some patch, he want to take out the maintenance. So the moment he take out this server as a maintenance, these both containers or both machines, just forget about the container right now, we will talk about as a machine concept. So this server should not take any more requests till this back to online, right? So this also has to go in some maintenance mode automatically, even if we not touch anything automatically, right? So this same logic we can achieve through init containers. So I have created a small script inside, and with the two images, we can achieve this. You can easily understand how this init container logic is working in Kubernetes, right? So we have one container called node. Okay, so this node, okay, there is a Redis. So first we will deploy this. Okay, so since this automatically keep on try to check this, it is not available because we haven't deployed, right? So it has to store as init mode, init state, right? So the moment we deployed, automatically this should change as a running status, right? So this is the exact, we are going to prove it as part of this hands-on lab. Let's go inside. So first we will go with the master. You open a master in a two PuTTY window. If you are using PuTTY or MobileXtreme or any client utility, but I need you to open master in two window, right? So go here and put it watch -n1 and this. So we have the same one master node, two worker node concept, all are in ready state. So it's good to go. Let me go here, and the same way we have to create one namespace because we are going to deploy couple of parts. Okay, better you go with one dedicated namespace. So I'm going to call it as app1. You can call it as any namespace because this is just to learn purpose. In production, as per your project requirement, you apply it. So we have created. So let's check kubectl get namespace. Yes, there is a app1 got created. Now in this window, what we are going to do is we are going to apply. But before apply, what I want is I want to put in watch -n1 kubectl get all from which namespace? app1 namespace. This is the namespace we are going to deploy. -o wide. Okay, so keep it open, right? So come back to another window. Okay, so in this we are going to deploy the first YAML file. Let's check what is there inside that YAML file. So if you go inside, we are creating a pod, okay, and the name is node-server, right? We are setting some labels, and the pod is going to call out this image. Just now I showed. Let me go to hub.docker.com. Okay, node-redis. This is the image we have created as a custom image, and there is a cloud and load test image also we have created, right? So go here. So this image it is going to download, and there is a sub option init containers. So what it is going to happen is it is going to run as a sub portion. So this I'm inserting some shell script to keep on check. Okay, so if this is true, then only this will make us a running state, or else this will keep on as a init state. So this is how you need to prepare the image first. Basically, first step is you need to first decide what containers and what kind of a dependency. Accordingly, I have just put it in some small shell script here. Okay, it see this shell script is simply doing it's pinging. If I'm not getting the response, I will put it in a say I'm not able to reachable. So this will be keep on in init state, right? So let's go the right hand side and I'll show you. It's a very simple shell script only. Okay, so every it is a loop until I not getting the response. So it's kind of a loop, right? So come down. So we are exposing as a service. This we have seen in the previous session also, but this is the very critical. So you need to, if you want to create your own image, simple, you download these two images, and in Docker class we have discussed about how to convert as a custom image. So you convert this naming convention, okay, Docker tag and your repository name and image ID, and you push it so that you no need to depend on my image, right? So then the another image. So here redis.yaml. So this redis is normal image. Okay, so we are calling as redis-server, and the container wise there is a image is redis. This is a normal hub.docker.com. It's publicly available, and the image by default it will run 6379. If you go back to the custom image what we created, go here, see here, this shell script small command, it is trying to keep on trying to reach 6379 port. Now how this works. So if you are in your project, if you are going with a different image and different instance port, then you need to make sure this command has to be aligned with your expectation, right? If you are going with Oracle, if you are going with MySQL, if you are going with the different some process, then see the objective is simple. This concept has to reach what is the dependency. If the reach is successful, then I can make this container as a running state, or else I will keep this as a init state, right? So I will go back to the command. So the node 1, so you can mention which namespace. So I'm going to copy this. Either you can download this YAML file, apply it, or you can directly apply. So I have executed this kubectl get all -n, which namespace app1, and -o wide. So the output will be the node wise. So I'm going to apply this. The moment you apply, you come back and say here, see here, it is showing init status because it's trying to reach 6379 port on Redis. We haven't deployed. Assume the server is the problem, or I'm not able to reach the port. We are basically during the learning, we are simulating this to make ourselves in a better understanding, right? Now you are clearly seeing init state. It's not running state. That means I'm not able to, I'm not in a position to take any request, right? So go here, clear it, come down, and we are going to create a new one, the another instance, 2-tier architecture. So go here. The moment you enter, right, come back here, see there is a running container creating and running. Wait for a few more seconds. This will be changed as a running because after see the part initializing, it got running, right? So this is how you need to understand the logic init containers. So init container is what is very critical. If you have kind of a 2-tier architecture or 3-tier architecture, if you want to take this out maintenance and you want to ensure these are all should be automatically should go into maintenance mode, right? So this is the logic you need to prepare. So if you are applying this 3-tier concept, then you need to be very careful what image you need to create as a init container image. So what has to be keep on reach. If that is not reachable, then this has to. So you need to make sure this decision accordingly, and which port. These are all you need to first document. Then you create your own image and push it. So once you have all the, see here, Docker Kubernetes, everything as an image. So if you plan correctly on your images, then the Kubernetes is very, very easy. So let me just go here. So this is what you need to keep practice, and you create your own image, own dependency, and then you apply it. As long as you are able to see a init, and the moment you bring up the dependency, you should say running. Thanks for everyone. Stay tuned. We will come up with more hands-on sessions.